everyone, this is my first YouTube video. I don't really know much about it, but I'm gonna try to say some stuff. My channel is gonna be called Epilepsy and Life, and that's because it's about my journey with epilepsy. I'm 41 years old. Can't remember anymore. I just had my birthday. Yeah, 41. And I have been dealing with epilepsy since I was in my 20s. But I have been having seizures all along, I think since puberty, but I just didn't know what they were because there's so many different types of seizures. And so I had, in the middle of the night, one night, I was pregnant. I've been married for a year or so, and I was pregnant with my son. In the middle of the night, my husband had to call 911 because I started having what you generally think of as a seizure, a tonic-clonic seizure. And we had to go to the hospital and get checked out. We didn't know what, was going on. My whole family had to come. We were all stressed out. As time went along through that pregnancy, I kept having more and more seizures, and they were the same kind, but they generally happened at night when I was sleeping. I've been fortunate enough not to have the kind of seizures where you just have them, when you're like in the middle of the day. Mine are called nocturnal. So all throughout my pregnancy, it was really dangerous for the baby, and I had to go to the hospital every time I had a seizure, which was quite often, especially towards the end. And so when I was delivering, there's something called an aura that you feel before you have a seizure. Sometimes, some people feel them, and I do sometimes. And so I told him, at this point I had been comfortable enough with the whole process, and I told my mom, we were in the labor and delivery room, I told my mom, I feel like I'm going to have a seizure. And she said, okay, come and lie down. So I had gone up to go to the bathroom. And I didn't wake up until, this was about 9 o'clock in the morning. I didn't wake up until 5 o'clock that evening when I was delivering the baby, when I was like pushing out the baby. I don't remember the contractions. I don't remember, anything about the delivery. And so it was a really scary thing for us. I couldn't drive anymore. I wasn't able to have a driver's license. When you have seizures in Virginia, you don't have a driver's license for at least 6 months when you're seizure free. So we got through the whole situation. My son is fine. Every time I had a seizure, we had to go to the emergency room to make sure that the heartbeat was okay, to make sure that the baby was okay, which was really scary. But my son's fine. He's 14 now. There's, perfectly healthy, nothing wrong with him. But it made us think about whether or not we wanted to have more children. And so I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. At this point, I had gone to see a specialist at a university, a neurologist. And so they started trying to put me on different medicines to try and get the seizures to stop, which they did for a short time period. And then during this time, I stopped having seizures. I got my driver's license back. I finished college. I became a teacher, and I was teaching in my second year, had an aura kind of feeling, like I said. And in front of my classroom, I just said I don't feel well, and had to be picked up by my husband because I couldn't make it. And then I started having seizures again during my second pregnancy. It was the same kind of thing. I had to be monitored really closely. I had to go to the hospital a lot. But my daughter is fine. She's 7 now. There's nothing wrong with her. They both turned out super healthy. Everything turned out really well. And this time, again, I lost my driver's license. And so this was about a little over 7 years ago because she's 7. So I haven't driven since. I've gotten kind of used to it. And it kind of made it so that I could be a stay-at-home mom. Before that, I worked at a mortgage company, and then like I said, I was a teacher for about a year and a half. But now I'm a stay-at-home mom, which it turns out I absolutely love doing. So this is about my journey, about how I ended up being a stay-at-home mom, and how it became the best thing that could ever have happened to me. So in my next videos, I'll talk about some more things to do with epilepsy, but I just wanted to say that there's some positive things that can come out of it, even dealing with such a strong, disease. It's turned out to be okay for us and we've learned to live with it. And so this is going to be about all of our lives, not just mine, and my family dealing with epilepsy.